This is Pastor Roger L. Green, Sr., pastor of the Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church. We're welcoming you to our worship services on Sunday morning. Sunday school begin at 8 a.m. Worship services begin at 9 a.m. Come and grow with us, a place of faith, family, and fellowship. We would love to have you. Come see us Sunday morning. We'll see you there. Be blessed.
Hey, did you know Long's Products is a family-owned janitorial supply with mops, brooms, trash bags, and they even have food service disposables, carry-out plates, and to-goes? Check us out.
Good afternoon, Central Louisiana. I'm Jack, and this is a special afternoon edition of the Let's Talk Show here on UrbanCast. Today's conversation is made possible by our silver sponsor, Acadian Ambulance. We appreciate their continued commitment to creating real opportunities and investing in our community, one conversation at a time. This afternoon, we're talking about that next step, not guessing, not wondering, not hearing, but hearing directly from someone who just went through the process and is now stepping into the field. Notice that uniform he has on over there. That's why today's conversation matters. We're joined by William Bell of Alexandria, a recent graduate of the Acadian EMT program at the National EMS Academy, to talk about his journey, his experience, and what comes next. If you're watching live, drop your questions in the comments. We may bring them in. William, I'll let you introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, I'm William Bell. This is my first experience with the EMS system. Before I was doing this, I was a student for LSUA studying cybersecurity. And yeah, I'm a new Acadian employee.
Okay, all right. What first sparked your interest in becoming an EMT?
Well, as I said before this, I was studying cybersecurity at LSUA, and while I was studying, I realized that I kind of wanted to do something a bit more with my time in my life than plugging in a computer all day. I wanted to be a benefit to the community I was a part of. I wanted to actually help people in a physical, meaningful way, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense, man. Perfect sense. What does working in EMS in the emergency medical services mean to you personally? I know you just said to help other, to help folks, but personally, what does it mean to you?
Personally, it means that I have the opportunity to make a positive difference in the lives of those around me and those I come into contact with. Becoming an EMT, my goal through this was to be put in a position where I could help someone. It's cheesy, but that was my entire goal with becoming an EMT.
Man, with you guys as being first responders, that's not cheesy. That's a big responsibility that you picked up, to be a policeman, fireman, EMT. You guys are going to see some stuff on a day-to-day basis. So that's not cheesy, not in my opinion. And I certainly thank you. That's for sure. I guess what impact you, one person at a time, what do you hope to make in your community? What impact do you want to make to the community in this job?
I guess I can kind of paraphrase the Acadian mission statement. I can't remember the entire thing off the top of my head, but it goes along the lines of providing quality care to the patients that I come into contact with. I want to make sure that people can get the appropriate medical care in a timely fashion, and hopefully make it more possible for them to arrive to a hospital before getting more seriously injured.
Okay. All right. What was your experience? What was the experience like going through the EMT program?
It was, I will admit, I was much more engaged with the National EMS Academy classes than I have ever been in whatever schooling that I've received before this. I was incredibly engaged. The teacher that I was assigned was incredibly nice, very helpful, and very experienced.
Mhm.
The classmates, they were all good people. And I had a lot of fun and a lot of, it was very, what's the word I'm looking for? It was very educational, learning about just how much thought goes into emergency care.
Okay. Yeah. I tell you what, just meeting those guys a couple of weeks ago down in Marksville, and you see the logistics behind um, everything that goes in hand to hand. I mean, it's wide open from all of the coordination, just getting gas. You know, you think that's something really simple, but you know, all of that's calculated in the time that it takes for them to do X, Y, or Z. It's just amazing to see that that operation come together. Um, how fast paced was the program? You know, like on a day to day, how fast was that information that you had to learn was come? How was it coming at
It was fairly fast. It was a lot of there was a lot of reading
you?
in a very short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
I you really it's not something you can just kind of breeze through. You have
Mm-hmm.
to actually spend several hours a day actually reading through the text. And there was also it was made easier because there was like Zoom meetings twice a week with
Mhm.
my instructor,
Mhm.
and she helped clear up the whatever questions that we might have, the content that we read. But there's weekly checkups to make sure that you're understanding the information that you're supposed to be studying, and y- yeah, you gotta stay on it, or else you're gonna fall behind. That was kind of my experience with it.
Okay. All right. So you got to have that mind in the right frame. You got to be in that right mindset to get through the program.
It's fast paced.
Right. So what were some of the hands-on skills or moments that you really that really stuck with you in this in your training?
That was probably my favorite part of the course, the actual hands-on portions of it.
Mm-hmm.
There was two phases of the course. There was a phase one and phase two, and there was a during each of those phases, there was like a week-long hands-on skills week that we got to participate in.
Mm-hmm.
We drove all the way over to Leesville, and then we got to practice on like test dummies for CPR skills. We got to practice advanced airway tools. We got to learn how to apply tourniquets and sling people's arms. That was probably my favorite part of the course.
Mm-hmm. And how has the program prepared you for that real world? Now that you have that uniform on and you're in that truck or in that ambulance, how did it prepare you for that?
Well, there's during those skills weeks, we pretty much every day, my instructor would run us through some very common calls, simulated calls,
Mm-hmm.
about a specific simulation situation that she went through in the past
Mm-hmm.
during her EMT and paramedic experience. And she'd walk us through how these common calls went and what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. And that was extremely helpful.
And what would you say? And again, you graduated about 2 weeks ago or a week ago. It's recent.
It was recent, like 2-3 weeks ago. I graduated from NEMSA.
Uh-huh.
I got hired on last week. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And so what would you say to someone watching right now who's thinking about becoming an EMT?
Well, in my opinion, and this is from somebody who just joined the EMS system, so I'm not the most experienced of individuals in this field, but in my mind, there's only really one reason you go into this sort of job, whether you're a police officer or a firefighter or EMS. Those are jobs where you have to actually want to help the people in the community. That's, if you want to help people, this is the place to be, and that should be the main reason that you're going into this. And that's what you want to do, then by all means.
Wow. Well, hey, I think that's a day one employee's answer, and that's a day retirement employee's answer as well. So I think you hit the nail right on the head there. What kind of mindset or commitment does it take to get through this program as a whole?
Well, you got to have the mindset of, I want to learn, I'm going to do this, I am going to sit down and I'm going to spend these hours going through the material to learn what I need to do to help people. That's the commitment that that's going to be required of you.
Point blank and simple, huh?
Well, I'm not known for being a man of many words.
No, that's it. Hey, look, having gone through basic training in the U.S. Army, I get it. You gotta want to do what you're doing right now. Now that you've completed the program, what are your goals in moving forward? I know when you said, "Hey, I've got this under my belt," I'm already thinking about the next stage. So what's next?
Now that I'm EMT, I really like the idea of spending a lot of time like in airplanes and helicopters. Okay. I kind of want to try my hand at becoming one of the airmed people doing critical care transports on helicopters. So to do that, I got to get my paramedic, I got to get my critical care certification, and it's going to take some time and a couple years of doing that before I think they'll allow me to get on a helicopter. That's kind of what I want to. That's where I want to end up here.
Okay, all right. Where do you see yourself in right now you're an EMT, and clearly you say, hey, that long range goal is to be on a helicopter, being a part of that critical care team. What's that pathway? I'm pretty sure they've explained that to you. What's kind of those next steps that you got to get through?
I got the gist of it. First things first, I got to take the anatomy and physiology course in preparation for the paramedic course. And once I'm certified as a paramedic, I have to be a paramedic for a certain amount of time and then go into a critical care certification, and after I'm certified there, that'll take another couple years, and until there might be another certification that I need to take to get the rest of the way there. I'm not entirely sure. Okay,
that's okay, man. I mean, and before you know it, it might be something else, and it added into that equation. And hey, I might want to go this route or something like that. That's 100% okay. William, is there anything else? Like when you were sitting in that class down at LSUA, preparing going to a career in the IT arena and computer security and all of that kind of good stuff, and you had that moment that said, hey, I want to go do something else. Again, is there anything else that, if I had that person that was sitting out there on the fence and they wanted to, and they were thinking about it, is there any other insight that you might have personally that you might want to pass over?
Well, I'm not sure. Well, what drove me to seek a career at EMT was, what kind of turned me off from continuing a career in cybersecurity is that I didn't really want to sit at a desk for the rest of my life. I wanted to do something physical, something that I could see, something I could more readily see the results of. And working in an EMS field, you can see pretty quickly the results of your work.
Right.
So if you need something a bit more visual to get you through the day, that make sure that the things that you're doing are really helping somebody in a meaningful way, that's EMS.
Right. And nothing wrong with that, because we all have those moments when we're in a college classroom or whatever, and is this the right thing that I need to be doing? And at that moment, you said, "Hey, this is not the right thing for me. Let me." And it's not to say that you may end up being in cybersecurity for Acadian, because I can just imagine. They have all kind of systems there, but what'll make you even a better, cybersecurity expert for them is the idea that you understand what the frontline folk are doing out there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So William, we appreciate you joining us this afternoon and sharing your story with you. And when we came up with this idea, we just really wanted to really talk to a student, from your perspective. So this wasn't anything planned or it was just that we got a class coming up right now, and folk really wanted to see how you felt about the whole thing, because you're so close to the process itself. And so we truly appreciate you for coming on and opening it up and talking about the process. Sometimes people just need to hear from someone who's been through it and been through it recently. So, it's just almost kind of like you young folk, y'all won't listen to anything that we have to tell you, but one of your friends go over there and tell you the same thing. And what do they say different? Nothing. It's just that you trust their voices more than you trust the adult voices. So, hey, we just wanted to hear from you guys. For those of y'all listening, this is a real path to an opportunity, real training, and real world stuff where you can help give back to your community. And if you guys are out there and you are looking at a career in EMS, on tomorrow, Acadian is offering an open house this Tuesday right here in Alexandria. For anyone that's sitting out there, this is your opportunity to get out there and go and talk to instructors, other EMTs, paramedics, and what have you. The event, again, is tomorrow, the 28th. It's going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. It's going to be at 1804 MacArthur Drive, Suite 590, right here in Alexandria. To our viewers out there, we want to definitely say thank you guys for being a part of this conversation. Make sure if you have a young person or a person who just thinking about changing their careers or what have you, share this live, so they can hear about it directly from William's voice and perspective. Again, a big thank you to Acadian Ambulance for making sure we can have these type of communities about opportunities within our community. We also want to thank our other business partners who also make these things possible. Sattler's Towings, Long's Products, Nader International Market, The Threadhead Embroidery, Elegant Beauty Supplies, and O'Mel's Farm. Until next time, we'll see you again. William, I'm going to take a look over here. Acadian put the links to the information out there. But other than that, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. William, if you can just hang tight 1 second, we're going to go ahead and end the live.
Hi, this is Pastor Roger L. Green Sr., pastor of the Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church. We're welcoming you to our worship services on Sunday morning. Sunday school begin at 8 a.m. Worship services begin at 9 a.m. Come and grow with us, a place of faith, family, and fellowship. We would love to have you. Come see us Sunday morning. We'll see you there. Be blessed.
Hey, did you know Long's Products is a family-owned janitorial supply with mops, brooms, trash bags, and they even have food service disposables, carry-out plates, and to-goes? Check us out.